Okay. So, Yuktambalasaram Vishnumirjavardham Chaturbhujam Pranannavam Vishayet Sarvam Vighnapachantayete Vijnanam Brahmayamatmam Samsiham Brahmasmi Hamsa Shivassoham Hamsaha Hasaka Sayam Sakshamanavadi Umacham Sakshamanavadi Umsaha Swarupane Upanahetabe Suvarade Srimad Jnanam Vikasane Sri Chaitanyanandanatha Sri Padukam Pujayam Namaha. Namaskar to everyone. The class today is explaining the procedure of Sandhyavandanam has been in the works for a very long time. So there were a lot of requests, but it just went on getting postponed. Finally, we decided, okay, let me do it this time. With that said, I have requested Anupama Amma to upload a few Sandhyavandanam files. Basically, they are categorized into two, Pratah Sandhya and Sayam Sandhya. That is the procedure of performing Sandhyavandanam in the morning and procedure of performing Sandhyavandanam in the evening. I have not, there are two other Sandhyas. One is called Madhyamika, that is when the sun is about to cross the meridian. Okay, on the top of your head it crosses, you're supposed to do it. That I have not included that. And there is one other, which I have never done, but I was told that it is done by some sages who worship in solitude. That is Sandhya right at midnight. That I don't even know the procedure, I have not included it. With that said, Sandhyavandanam, if we split the word, so I'm not sure how many people have joined. How many people are there? No? Can I ask?
We have about 7 people here.
7 people, okay. The thing is, the Sandhyavandanam, the word, it can split into two words, Sandhya and Vandanam. Sandhya word itself has a few meanings. At least we can talk about two of them. One is Sandhya. Sandhya means it is the time of union. Sandhi, Sandhya. So the time just before dawn and the time just before dusk, time just before noon, and time just before midnight. These are called the 4 Sandhyas. Okay? So they are Pratah Sandhya, Madhyamika Sandhya, Sayam Sandhya, Nishi Sandhya or something. At last one, I don't even know the exact name. Out of these 4, 3 are much more known than the 4th one. And out of the 3, at least 2 are more commonly practiced. That is the Pratah Sandhya and Madhya, the Sayam Sandhya are more commonly practiced. And the other meaning for the word Sandhya, it is actually a combination of 2 syllables, which then himself they form 2 words with Sam and Dhya. Sam means perfect. Dhya means dhyana. So perfect dhyana is Sandhya. Sandhya Vandanam means Vandanam through perfect dhyana is called Sandhya Vandanam. With that said, Sandhyavandanam process itself, it has certain, compartments, so to say. The first compartment is for you to take the Achamanam and do a Sankalpam. After that, you are going to perform Abhishekam to yourself. This is not same as the Atma Kumbha Vivekam that is done by Purna Dikshitas. But we will have to, but the important thing we have to note here is there is a concept called performing Abhishekam to oneself. The exercise of performing Abhishekam is, the idea is to cleanse oneself within and without. Normally, when we do Abhishekam to deity, we will do Panchamrita Abhishekam. Whereas in the case of human performing Abhishekam to oneself, we will only do 2. Apo Hishta Mayodhava, that is water, and then Dahikarabhavakasham, that is the yogurt. Why not the rest? I do not know the answer. I'll have to find out. But typically, for human being, when he is doing it for himself, these are the two abhishekams he will do. And Sandhyavandanam, what else we do? After Sankalpa, we do the abhishekam through which we cleanse ourselves. After the abhishekam is done, then we will chant one portion of Pavamana Sutra. Pavamana Sutra is once again, in fact, in several of the Punya Vachanams, they use Pavamana Sutra for cleansing. So, in addition to the Abhishekam, we are going to use Pavamana Sutra to cleanse ourselves. After the Pavamana Sutra and a small attitude to that, we are going to do one more Sankalpa. And in that Sankalpa, we say, now I am going to perform Arghyapradanam. That will be the second Sankalpa. The first Sankalpa is to perform the Sandhyavandanam procedure itself. And then the second Sankalpa is to offer Arghya to sun. This basically all the Sandhyavandanam is about Surya Upasana. So we offer Arghya to sun. After we offer Arghya to sun, then we will proceed further a little more, and then at that point, a third Sankalpam is done. That Sankalpam is for performing Gayatri Japa. After Gayatri Japa, there are a series of mantras, actually there are a series of slokas. Okay, if you look into the detailed Sandhyavandanam text, all these mantras, each mantra has got a title. But then I have not included titles for each mantra. I have just listed the mantras as they are, just for the sake of simplicity. Just go through those mantras and ask not as far as possible. I strongly urge whoever wants to do Sandhyavandanam will have to commit this text to their memory. It is not like you watch something and do Sandhyavandanam. It is not Sandhya anymore. It is not perfect Dhyanam anymore. For the persons who came just now, Sandhya means some is perfect. Dhyan means Dhyan. Sandhya means perfect Dhyan. Sandhyavandanam means Vandanam through perfect Dhyan. So for you to do Sandhyavandanam, you will have this very imperative that you commit this text, very small text, to the memory. That is one. Second thing, people who come to the temple, the other temple here, are familiar with this Achamanam. Achamanam, we just go to four names: Keshava, Narayana, Madhava, Govinda. Keshava Swaha, Narayana Swaha, Madhava Swaha, Govindaya. But typically in a Vedic tradition, this four are succeeded by or accompanied by the next 21 names of Krishna. Okay? And that is called Angavandanam. But Sandhyavandanam and Achamanam put together, it is usually called as Achamanam. So that is in Achamanam, when we say do the Achamanam, it is always taken for granted that you do the first four names, take the water in, and then touch various parts of your body for the remaining 21 names. And this total 21 plus, the total actually, it comes to 24 names actually. And this 24, how exactly do we arrive at this 24? Why not 25 or 32 or 13, 14? Well, this 24 comes from some math genius. Okay, the Vishnu is described as something like Amba. He carries four things in his four arms. That is Shankhu, Chakra, Gada, Padma. Shankhu, Chakra, Gada, Padma. These are the four things Vishnu is carrying. That's why in Bhagavad Gita, after he shows the Vishwarupam, Arjuna says, okay, now withdraw your Vishwarupam, that is too large for me to see, to watch. Now I want you to show me Kiritanam, Galinam, Chakra, Hastam. So that form I want to see. Then Krishna says, even so many daily gods, they are not able to see that, but I am letting you see that form, and then he will show the form. Okay, the form is what is the mace, Shankhu Chakra, which is a disc, and then the conch, and the lotus flower, the mace. These four will be holding. Now, which hand holds what? There are four. So there are all, if you look at all the permutations, there is 4 times, 3 times, 2 times 1. That comes to 24. So, depending on which hand holds what, he gets a different name. That's how the 24 names are being and they form the part of the tradition. Okay? With that said, now we will start the actual process of Sandhyavandanam. And the actual process of Sandhyavandanam, by the way, just going back half a step, the text that I have provided is the text that was taught to me by my grandfather, my granduncles, my uncles. They all used it to perform the same procedure. And I am just for passing on the same procedure to you guys, all of you. Okay, because the reason I make this statement is there are some variations from tradition to tradition regarding how this text should be. Some will include more, some will delete a little more. Okay. So we will start off with whatever I was taught, and it starts with first, the very, very elementary purification by thinking of Vishnu. Okay. Even before that, what you will do, you will sit cross-legged, you will have taken your shower, you will sit cross-legged, and then you will take Ajam. Shuklambaradharam Vishnu Nivadam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarvavighnopashanthaye. May my Guru reside inside me and guide me in disseminating the information that you all should receive from him. So I am just only a vehicle. Okay, it is a Guru that is guiding, it is a Guru that is teaching. So first sloka, so for those of you who have received, I assume that you have opened the text that I have sent. Okay, I have the text is translated into English, Telugu, Kannada, and Sanskrit. I did not do it in Tamil because the Tamil transliteration rules in Balaha are slightly different from the rest of this one. So if I use the same transliteration rule, you will have to make some weird Tamil sounds. I don't want you to do that. Okay, so there I seek some volunteering. If somebody can look at the English text and the Sanskrit text, and then along those lines, if they can modify the to cover the source code, the modification is only marginal. If someone of you can do that, we can generate the Tamil transliteration as well. So it starts with the first slogan after the Achamanam. Do I want to, okay, let me do one thing. I will do the Achamanam. Om Keshavaya Swaha. When you do the Achamanam, how are you going to do it? You will place the tip of the thumb at the bottom of your ring finger, base of your ring finger. That means at the base of the Suryasthanam, which is the position of sun. This actually is called the mount of sun. Okay? On the mount of sun, that is the base of the ring finger, you are going to place your thumb, and then you are going to fold your forefinger over your thumb. When you do that, you will automatically form a airtight cup, or a leak-tight cup, not airtight, leak-tight cup. Into that, you are going to take just as much water as is enough to submerge one seed of moong. If you put one moong dal seed, okay, the water should just submerge that, not more than that, not less than that. That is the amount of water. Some people say, Thursday, it was full, but the fellow will have a hand as long as a big. This one, right? No. Before the water reaches your any portion of the digestive tract, it will have been absorbed. Only that much of water will have. Okay, so making this kind of a mudra with your palm, Keshava Swaha. Narayana Swaha, Madhava Swaha, Govinda Namaha. Here I have two ghazals. One is called Panchapatra, another is called the Arghapatra. Okay? Typically, when you are doing Sandhyavandanam, you don't use two patram and Panchapatram and then Acharana Patram. No, you use only one. Okay? So, Acharana Patra and Panchapatra becomes one. And by the way, why is it called a Panchapatra? Pancha means five. What is five about it? It is used for Padyam, Arghyam, Achamanam, Naivedyam, Snanam, Naivedyam. This water is used for all these five purposes. That's why it is called a Panchapatra. Okay? Now I took the Achamanam. Keshava Swaha, Narayana Swaha, Madhava Swaha, Govinda Namaha. Now the rest of it is called Sandhyavandanam. Vishnave Namaha, Madhusudhana Namaha, Trivikrama Namaha, Vamana Namaha, Sridhara Namaha, Rishikesha Namaha. Padmanabhaya Namaha, Damodaraya Namaha, Sankarshana Namaha, Vasudevaya Namaha, Rajyumna Namaha, Aniruddhaya Namaha, Purushottama Namaha, Adhokshaya Namaha, Narasimhaya Namaha, Achyutaya Namaha, Janardana Namaha, Upendra Namaha, Haraye Namaha, Shri Krishna Namaha. Okay, there are 24 names. And it is important that you follow this particular video to understand which parts of the body you are going to touch. Okay, but otherwise, there are several resources both on YouTube as well as the internet showing these 24 positions. There is yet another Sampradaya called Chidambara Sampradaya. In Chidambara Sampradaya, they don't do 10, 24, they do only 10, as I understand. But that is there. It's a different sampradaya. As I said, the procedure that I am passing on here is something that was taught to me and I have been practicing for the last over 45 years. Okay? Now, regarding this Achamanam, the way Vedic tradition goes, each time you disturb yourself, for the next step to do, you will take Achamanam. That's all. So you have done this. Immediately now you are going to take some water in the Uddharina and then the Abhishekam part or cleansing part. The way you do, you are not going to use the forefinger. So you are going to use either your ring finger or middle finger. The way I do it, because dipping it this way and going is inconvenient. What I do, I dip my thumb, then touch my finger and then. Okay. The first one is thinking of Vishnu. Vishnu by the name Pundarikaksha. Pundarikaksha is the one that has nice wide eyes. Because he and mother are alter egos. Both of them are known Meenakshi. Supposed to be having very wide eyes. Okay, Pundarikaksha means the one that has wide, conspicuous eyes. Okay, Apavitra Pavitro Va Sarvarasta Angatopi Va Yasmare Pundarikaksham Savakya Abhyantara Shuchihi. Savakya Abhyantara Shuchihi. May I think of Pundarikaksha and cleanse myself inside out. And then the remaining water, we will let it off into the Arghapatra. Okay, then again, Achamya, Keshava, Yasmini. Hereafter, since I have done it once, I am not going to repeat the entire exercise. I'll say Achamya means you are going to do the whole thing. Achamya, you will take the Achamya. Then after that, Mamopata Sankalpa. You don't have to do Akshadas and all that. Yes. Mamopata Samasta Guridakshaya Dvara Shri Parameshwara Parameshwari Prityartham. Pratah Sandhyavandanam, if it is Sandhyavandanam done in the morning, Pratah Sandhyavandanam, if it is done in the evening, Sayam Sandhyavandanam. Okay? So for that one, first, Daivi Gayatri Chandra Pranayame Yoga. Then you will do the Gayatri. If you are, of course, all Sandhyavandanam people will have to be initiated, that is, will have the Yajna formal ceremony done, okay? Upanayam done. Only then you will be able to proceed this way. So after that, you are going to do the pranayam using the Purna Gayatri. What is the Purna Gayatri? Om Bhu Om Bhuvaha Om Suvaha Om Maha Om Janaha Om Dava Om Satyam Om Tatsavadvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat. If you are initiated to Sri Vidya, Parvarudase Savadom, also you add. Okay? So saying, so with one internal chanting, one iteration of Gayatri you will inhale, one iteration of Gayatri you will hold, two iterations of Gayatri you have to exhale, and one iteration of Gayatri you have to hold. This is called Purakam, Kumbhakam, Rechakam, Bahirkumbhakam. 4 steps. But initially you will not be able to do it. That's a long this thing. The whole thing takes about, so in one breath, you are going to hold it for about maybe 1.5 minutes. Until you can't do it. So what you do, you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhalation, holding, exhalation, holding. Then after that, Mamopata Samatudurikshaya Dvara Shri Parameshwari Prityartham Pratah Sandhyavandanam. And right now I'm going to demonstrate to you the Pratah Sandhya. Pratah Sandhya starts with, okay? Abhishekam to yourself. Om Apohishtava Yodhuvaha Tama Rujyadradana Maherana Yachakshase Yogachivata Morasaha Tasya Bhaviyat Ushativiva Mataraha Tasma Arangamano Oyas Yakshaya Yudvatha Apo Janayatha Janaha. It is important you observe this physical procedure that I am doing, and it's best we encourage you to follow the procedure that I am doing nearly verbatim. Okay? So what did I do? I used the Uddharina, I used my thumb, I dipped my thumb into the Uddharina and touched the forefinger and middle finger, ring finger to the thumb, and then with that moist finger, I sprinkle the water onto my body. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If it is not possible, at least onto the head. Okay. Next, this. Make the same cup. This cup is also called Gokarna Mudra. Gokarnam, it is cow's ear. Okay? Gokarnam. Make the Gokarnam. Hereafter I only say Gokarnam. Make a Gokarna Mudra and then take the water. Now, Suryascha Mamam Nishchamanyu Padayascha Manyu Krutebhyaha Papebhya Rakshantam Yadratriyaha Papamakārisham Manasa Vacha Hastabhyam Padbhya Udare Shishna Ratristadavalumpatu Yatkinchadhuritam Mayi Idamahammam Amritayono Suryebhyo Sirijyo Viswaha. Okay? With this mantra, whatever water we have in the Gokarna Mudra, we are going to drink. Then again, Achamya Keshavaya Swaha, Narayana Swaha, Madhavaya Swaha, Govinda Namaha. Remember, when you take Achamya, you are not going to touch your lips to your hand. You are not going to lick anything. Okay? Otherwise, if you do that, the whatever water it becomes uchishtam. You should not do that. By chance, if it happens, what happens? Apopasprashya, you have to take some water, wash off from there. Again, you have to take Achamya. Okay? Now, after the Achamanyan is done, the next step is that. So, first Abhishekam is Apohishtamayo Bhuva. Next Abhishekam is yogurt. Nahikravadno karisham Ishnorasvascha vajinah Surabhino Mukhagarate Prana Ayogam Shdashite. Again, we will continue to Apohishtamayo Bhuva Tana Gujye Dadana महेरणाय चक्षसे योगशिवतमोरसः तस्य भागीयते हनः उचकीर्णमातरः तस्मारङ्गमामुभो यस्य क्षयाय दधा आपो गणयथा जनः. So what did you do? You did Abhishekam 3 times. Apohishta, Rajikravadnokasham, once again Apohishta. So you did 3. But one thing I want you to observe here is the pronunciation. Apohishtamyo bhuvaha tana ujjedratana. Or you can also say Apohishtamyo bhuvastana ujjedratana. That visargam will end up in a sandhi, which is fine. But what some people have seen the temple do is Apohishtamyo bhuvaha stana ujjedratana. That is incorrect. So you have to follow one or the other. Apohishtamyo bhuvaha tana ujjedratana maherana yachakshase yo shivatamorasah and so on. So now after you give the Dashikravadno and then after you do Dashikravadno and then when you say Apohishtamyo bhuvaha, then we will start off with the Pavana Sutta, a portion of the Pavana Sutta. Hiranyavarnashushayah pavakaha yasu jatah kasyapo yashvindraha agniya garbham gajire virupastana apasya grishona bhavantu yasadam rajavarno yajimadye satyanvrite avapashyanjananam madhuschudashchujayo yaspavakaha tana apasya grishona bhavantu यासां देवाद्विप्रतिबन्ति भक्षय्य अन्तरिक्षे हौदाभवन्त्याः पृथिवीं पयसोम्नन्ति शुक्रास्तान आपश्य ग्रीष्यो न भवन्तु शिवे नमा चक्षुषा पश्चिता पश्चिमया तनुवोपस्पृशतत्तजन्मे सर्वागम् अग्निगम् रक्षुषदो भुवे गोमैवच्चो बलमोजो निवृत्ता. At that point, you will once again make Gokarnam. You will take water. Drupadadivaruchat Drupadadivenmuchanaha Svinnasnati valadiva Bhutam pavitrena evajyam Apashundhantu mainasaha. You will inhale. The reason why you inhale is not any aromatic water or anything. So basically what happens is when you are hearing your Pavana Suttam and then the subsequent mantra, you are invoking the fire inside the water. Inside water is fire. Okay? And that fire you are extracting. And that fire you are going to inhale with the visualization that the fire inside the water is coming out, you inhale that, and that fire will go inside you and just burn out all that muck. Karmic muck. Basically, you are trying to purify as much as possible. You have to purify yourself before you perform. Next step. Apashundham tumainasaha, you inhale and let the water back into the Arghya. Then, once again, Achamya, you are going to do Acham. After Acham, Dairi, Gayatri, Chandah, Pranayam, Yoga, Pranayam. Then, Mamopata Samasta Durirakshayadvara Sri Parameshwara Parameshwari Prityattam Pratah Sandhyavandanam Arghyapradanamaham Karishye. So that's how then you will do the Arghyapradanam. Arghyapradanam, how do you do? For each, you will fold your palm like this, make a cup with the palm, and then you will add how much water you can add. If you are in the river, you will just take it. You will use both the palms and then fill them and make a big cup. And then when as water is in your palm, you will chant the Gayatri. Om Bhu Bhu Swaha Tatsam Durvarengyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayad Paronudesai Radom. Like that you will do it 3 times. And if you are doing the Sandhyavandanam after the sunrise, the sense morning Sandhya, Pratah Sandhya should be performed before the sunrise, not after sunrise. But owing to practical limitations and other encumbrances, we will end up doing it after the sunrise. Then you will have to do a prayashchittam. So you will offer one more of the argya. So if you are doing it after sunrise, you will offer the argya 4 times. In fact, the fourth argya, you are not offering it into this one, you are offering it on this one. Because you are the one that did something negative by doing it right. So you have to cleanse yourself. So after the fourth is done, then उत्कृष्टदेव गन्तव्यं पुनरागमनाय च आगच्छ देवी गायत्री प्रविश्य हृदयं मम असावादित्यो ब्रह्मा. What I did here is, initially I called Gayatri, did the pranayama twice, and then I used Gayatri to the Arjun. Then at that time I tell Gayatri, Amma, thank you for coming. Right now, just you can move on. But whenever I call, Agachade Gayatri Pravishya Hridayam Mama, whenever I call you, please come and get it. Because after that, after Arjun Pradhanam and before the Gayatri Japam, there is some hiatus. We do a few things there. So until then, you can't ask her to stay there and wait for you. You move on, I'll call you back. There's a lot of social and human elements involved in performing this divine procedure. Any divine, they always take care of all this. Okay? Then again, Acharya, Kejava, Swaha, Narayana, Swaha, Madhava, Swaha, and all that. Then you will start preparing yourself to do the Gayatri. Upanayanam. What is Upanayanam? Assistant, I. Upa, assistant. I. Nayanam means I, assistant I. Actually, there's a main I. Oh, when the Upanayanam is done, the third I within is supposed to gradually go up. You are going to use that third eye for performing subsequent process, particularly the japa. So for that, in order for you to get there, all this thing, this chant should be one. Om iti ekaksharam brahma advidevata brahma iti arisham gayatram chandam paramatmam swarupam sayujyam yogam ayatu varada devi aksharam brahma samhitam Gayatrim Chandasam Matedam Brahma Vikrusvame Yaganha Atrute Papam Taganha Atrakimuchyate Yadratriya Atrute Papam Tadratriya Atrakimuchyate Sarva Vaide Mahadevi Sandhya Vidya Saraswati Ojosi Sahosi Varanasi Bhrajosi Devanam Dhammanamasi Vishwamasi Vishwayuhu Sarvamasi Sarvayuhu Abhipuram Gayatri Mavahayami Savitri Mavahayami Saraswati Mavahayami Chandarishin Avahayami Shri Mavahayami Balamavahayami Gayatriya Gayatri Chanda Vishwan Samita Devata Adyanmukham Brahma Suro Vishnu Hridayam Rudrashikha Prasudyohi Prana Vanam Vyano Dana Samana Saprana Shvetavagna Sankhya Sagotra Gayatri Chaturvimshat Chakshara Tripada Shatputri Panchashishaha Upanay Devi Yogaha. You describe the Gayatri structure here. Mantra structure as well as the physical structure. Tripada, 3 feet, Shatputri, 5 stomachs is one explanation. But rather, the mantra has 3 lines and has 6 parts. Shatputri, Panchashishaha, 5 heads. What are the 5 heads of that? That is supposed to have 5 heads. What are the 5 heads? Tattva, Rajas, Tamo, Guna. Okay? And then all the 3 put together, 4. And then this thing that is nothingness. That is the 5. Okay. That's why she Mukta Durmaheva Nila Bhavat Shai They are the 5 hues of the 5 heads. We'll get to that. So she is supposed to have 5. Panchashishah Upanayane Yoga. To see all this, I'm going to use my Upanayanam. Then at that point of time, you will do once again pranayama. Upanayane Yogam Bhuvum Bhuvam Suvaha. You will do pranayama. Then Sankalpa. Mamopata Tamastu Duridakshanadvada Sri Parameshwara Parameshwari Prityartham Pratah Sandhyavandanam Vandananga Yatha Chakti Gayatri Mantrajapam Karishye. So you have done Sankalpam to do Gayatri. For that, initially what you do, you have to invoke Gayatri. For that, you have to perform Anganyasa Karanyasa. It is called Anganyasa. Karanyasa means you use Nyasam with your third hand. Okay? Anganyasa means various limbs. Tatsavituhu. So you will break the Gayatri into 6 parts. Tatsavituhu, Brahmatmane, and Vishtabhyam Namaha. Parenyam Vishnuratmane Tarjinibhyam Namaha. Bhargo Devasya Rudratmane Madhyamabhyam Namaha. Himahi Satyatmane Namikabhyam Namaha. Dhiyo Yonah Jnanatmane Kanishtikabhyam Namaha. Prachodayat Sarvatmane Karatala Karaprushtabhyam Namaha. Tatsavituhu Brahmatmane Hridaya Namaha. Parenyam Vishnuratmane Shirase Swaha. Bhargo Devasya Rudratmane Shikhari Vayute. Dhimahi Satyatmane Kavachayuhum. Dhiyo Yonah Jnanatmane Netrutvraya Ushate. Prachodayat Sarvatmane Astra Yahate. Bhuvah Suvah Om Ijlibandaha. So now, with the fact when you start doing your japa meditation, right at this itself, you start feeling that you slowly sink into meditative mindset. When you sink into it, okay? Then at that time, you are going to dhyanam, you are going to meditate upon the form of Gayatri. Mukta Vidrumahe Manila Chagir Mukhaistriyakshane Yuktam Indulibadharat Namakutam Tattvartharatmikam Gayatri Parada Abhaya Ankushakasham Shubhram Kapalam Gadam Shankam Chakramatharavim Vaivalam Hastaivahantim Bhaje. So you have meditated upon her form. Then the mudras. There are 24 mudras performed to invoke and install Gayatri. Okay? These mudras, I have shown them here, but I think Guru Padaka, Devi Padaka, one of the books, all these mudras are already listed with pictures. Okay? Sumukham, Samputam Chaiva, Vitatam, Vistrutam Tatha, Zimukham, Trimukhan Chaiva, Chatushpanchamukham Tata, Shanmukho, Adhomukhan Chaiva, Vyapaka, Anjalikam Tata, Chakatam, Yamapashancha, Kaviranchom, Mukhom, Pravanda, Mushtikam Chaiva, Matsya, Kurma, Varahakam, Simhakrantam, Mahakrantam, Mudgaram, Pallavam Tatha, Ete Mudras Chaturvimsha, Gayatri Supratishthita, Iti Mudra Najanati, Gayatri Nishphala Bhavet, Yo Devas Savita Smakam, Yo Dharma Yudocharaha, Prerayet Tasyayet Bhargaha, Tadvarenyam Vasmahe. So saying, you are going to take your Yajnapavitam. Okay, the Yajnapavitam will have these knots. These knots we are going to hold between thumb and the forefinger, and then this hand we are going to cover. Even your guru should not see your counting process when you are doing the chanting. Count, and then you use this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So one cycle you'll get 10. That's how you will do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 8, 9, 10. These two will be related. Okay? These are, so every cycle you have 10. If you want to do 108, 10 times this, and then up to this point. 32 means you do 3 times this and then 1. Like that. You don't have to have Japamala. Okay? If you have Japamala, you will still hold the Yajnapavitam and then take the Japamala in your hand. Don't use this finger, you will put Japamala here. But you will hold in that. Okay? When you do the Japam, you will have to do a minimum of 16. Some people say minimum 10, but I would rather, what I was told during my learning time was minimum 16, 16, 32, 54, 64, 108, 1008. Any of this. After the counting is over, then in my taste what I was taught, we will do only Hridayalinyas. Tatsavito Brahmatmane Hridayalinyas, Parenyam Vishnuatmane Sase Swaha, Vargodo Visruddhatmane Shikha Himahi Satyatmane Kavachayam, Chiroyanaha, Jnanatmane, Netrutrayaya Ushide, Vachodayad Sarvatmane, Asra Yathashe, Bhuvah Suvah Om, Echidivimodaha, Kaptu Brahma Paramastu. You will do that. With that, the Gayatri Yam. So after Gayatri Yam is completed, you have to offer your respects to, if you are doing it in the morning, you will offer the respect to someone. If you are doing it in the evening, you will offer respect to what? So for Pratah Sandhya, we do Mitrasya Darsha Geetu Dashrava Ekasya Sanasim Satyam Chitrasya Dattamam Mitrodhananam Nyasaiti Prajanan Mitroda Dhara Prithvim Sudhyam Misrashtiran Nimishavichaste Satyaya Havyam Gridavad Vijayman Prasavitramatvo Astu Prayaswamyastaditya Shikshativratena Anyatena Jivete Toto Vainamahuma Vishnu Chinchito Nagurate. Then all for the 8 direction, the above bottom, and the circular direction. For all these directions, you will offer Namaskar. Om Namah Prachye Dishe Pracham Fish. Yascha Devata Etashyam Vivasanti Etabhyastana Bodha Bodhakshinaye Dishe. Ascha Devata Etashyam Vivasanti Etabhyastana Bodha Bodha Prakiche Ascha Devata Etashyam Vivasanti Etabhyastana Bodha Bodhi Dishe. Ascha Devata Etashyam Vivasanti Etabhyastana Bodha Bodhudhvayi Dishe. Yascha Devata Etasyam Tivasanketa Bhishtana Bhodamo Adharayi Che. Yascha Devata Etasyam Tivasanketa Bhishtana Bhodamo Avantarayi Che. Yascha Devata Etasyam Tivasanketa Bhishtana Bhodamo Gangaya Gunayor Munibhyascha. Namo Namo Gangaya Gunayor Munibhyascha Namaha. Sandhyaye Namaha. Each direction. Each deity. Sandhyaye Namaha, Savitri Namaha, Gayatri Namaha, Saraswatye Namaha, Sarvabhyo Devatabhyo Namaha, Devebhyo Namaha, Rishibhyo Namaha, Munibhyo Namaha. Kamodashin Manyakashin Namo Namaha. There are some traditions say Matrubhyo Namaha, Pitrubhyo Namaha, but the problem is if they are dead, that means you are not here anymore. If you say Matrubhyo, you are performed Pitrukayam. Pitrukayam is not expected to mix with Devakayam. You will separate the subject. So some people chant it, some people don't chant. Gurubhyo Namaha, then after that, after that, giving respect to the 5 elements of nature. Prithivyapastejo vayurakashad Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Yagim Sada Sarva Bhutani Charani Sthavarani Cha Sayam Pratah Namaskyanti Swama Sandhya Gacchate Shivaya Vishnu-rupaya Shiva-rupaya Vishnave Shivascha Hridayam Vishnu Vishnuvascha Hridayam Shivaha Yatha Shivamayo Vishnu Evam Vishnave Shivaha Yadhanta Annapashyami Tadame Swastirayushi Namo Brahmanya Devaya Gopramahitaya Cha Jagadhiraya Krishnaya गोविंदाय नमो नमः उत्तमे शिखरे जाते भूम्यां पर्वतमुद्धरी ब्राह्मणे एभ्योऽभ्यवृद्धाता गच्छति सासुकं स्तुतो मया वरदा वेदमाता प्रचोदयन्ती पवने द्विजाता आयुः पृथिव्यां प्रविडं ब्रह्मवर्चसं मह्यं दत्त्वा प्रजातं ब्रह्मलोकम् नमोस्मन्ताय सहस्रमूर्तये सहस्रपादाक्षशोरुबाहवे सहस्रनाम्ने पुरुषाय शाश्वते सहस्रकोटिविधारिणे नमः श्री सहस्रकोटिविधारिणे नमः इति सर्ववेदेषु यत्पुण्यं सर्वतीर्थेषु तत्फलं पुरुषमाप्नोति स्तुत्वा देवं जनार्दनं वासनाद्वासुदेवस्य वासुदं चे जगत्त्रयं सर्वभूतनिवासोऽसि वासुदेव नमोस्तुते श्री वासुदेव नमोस्तुते. This actually completes Sandhyavandanam, morning Sandhya. Then you will have to offer Namaskar. Chatussagar Paryantam Gobrahmanebhyah Shubham Bhavatu Angirasabharhastatya Bharadvaj Trayashe Pradramita Bharadvaj Sagopraha आपस्तंभ प्रहार यदिशाखाध्यायी शंकर नारायण शर्मा अहम अभिवादये. Okay, so you identify yourself and you offer namaskar. Then Eshavaya Swaha Achamya. After Achamanya, you will do the apology. Yes, Shasmatyatan Amotya. Tapo Tapasandhya Kriya Vishu Yunam Sampurnatam Vyati Sadhyo Damde Kamachudam Mantrahinam Kriyahinam Bhaktihinam Maheshwari Yat Pradam Samaya Ajevi Paripurnam Tarastu Me Anena Prasasandhyavandanena Bhagavati Vishwatmika Tatsarvam Sri Vidya Sri Rajarajeswari Devi that complete process. Okay. Until now, if there are any questions I'd like to answer before I can briefly explain the Sayam Sandhya as well. Because Sayam Sandhya, Pratah Sandhya are 90% same. Only 10% is correct. Instead of Surya, we will call Varuna. Mitra is Surya. Mitra is that is Surya. Imam me Varunasudhira Madhyatmrayutvam Vachurasake Tattvayan Brahmana Mandamanastra Asha Aste Yajamano Hridbihi Ahedamano Vartehbodhi Vinjamuntamano Ayupramodihi Yachintudevisho Bhavnevo Dantutam Siddhi Yatkinchedam Varnasayye Vitroham Nashya Ashtaranasi Achityetam Dharmayo Abhima Manastasma Venaso Devadisha Kitavaso Viduripunnati Yadvata Satyamatannamitna Samvata Vishya Chitreva Devata Dishyama Bhakti Asaha. This is Paramatma. So if you are doing it evening, you use Varnamatma in the place of Surya. But I have prepared an entirely different file so that they'll remain insulated from each other, adding this difference, including this difference. There is one difference, and the other difference is initially Suryaschamanam Yascha Surya Adnischamam Yaschaman Vivadeschaman Tutebhyah Papebhyah Rakshantam. The morning is at Vedratria at Papnakayasham Vajentam. Earlier night, if I have done a mistake, clear it up. Now, if you are doing the evening, you have to clear the mistakes, you repeat the previous one. Okay? For that, you will say, Agnischamamunischamanyodebhya papebhyo rakshantam yatanha papamakkarisham. So Yadratriya Tulsi yatanha papamakkarisham. The rest of it will be same. Okay. And when you finish this, the rest of the procedure is stay. And then, as I said, after Agni is over, instead of saying Vitrasya Shani, so you will say, you will do, and just everything else is just the same between these two Sandhyavandanams. If you have, so in fact, after completed both versions of Sandhyavandanam, that is both morning and evening. Any questions from the online audience, most welcome at this point in time. I take 1 minute break to have some water. I'm going to try that. Okay. Any questions?
Sri Matre Nama. Namaste, Ayya. So I have a question and it relates to the timing when this needs to be done. So is it something that we have to do and complete the entire process before, before we start, before the sunrise, or is it something that we have to do during the sunrise and during the sunset?
Yes. Ajya Pradanam should happen before those times. Then after that, the japam, it depends on how long you want, how much japam you want. If you are doing 10,000 japam, you can't expect to finish it anytime soon. So the rule is Ajna Pradhanam should happen before those times. And now do you speak Telugu? What do you learn? What language do you speak?
Telugu, I speak Telugu.
Chudaka, Tirugaka, Suchi, Kottu. This is the same. It means Pakunnale. Okay. Then Tirinji Pogunnale, Pati, Kudu. That means before the sun, before you see the sun, Sandhya, give the Arjuna. Before the sun turns away from the meridian. Okay? Give the Arjuna. That is our Madhyanika. Chuchi, while you are seeing the sun in the sky, do the evening Arjuna. That's how it is. Chudaka, Tirudaka, Chuchi. The colloquial saying.
Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Namaste, yeah. This is Bharadwaja. My nephew asked one question I was not able to answer. Why do we do two marginums? You mentioned in one sentence, I missed that sentence. Why do we do two marginums, like first apohista, then the dikravano?
Yeah.
Why do we do the two marginums? You said there is some cleansing for one purpose, the second one.
What I said is, when human being perform abhishekam to oneself, he will do once with water, once with yogurt, and once again Suddha Snanam. So these three we do. We do not do the other, that is milk, honey, ghee, shakkarayas, all those things we don't do it on ourselves. On ourselves, we are only going to do apohistama yoga and then dasikravadno karisha. That is water.
Okay. So that cleansing is for 2 times we do that. I mean, two stages we get, right? One is apohista, and then achamanam, then again the dikravano.
That's correct. Yes, that's correct.
And what was the logic for 2 times and in between an achamanam? Once rinsing is not sufficient.
Achamanam thing is whenever we the Vedics, this one is whenever you just move a little bit, shake your apparatus a little bit, immediately you are supposed to take a achamanam.
Okay.
That's how it is done everywhere. So before you will do all this one, before you do Sankalpam, I'm saying you will take an achamanam. Because you are just, it's a kind of disjoint step from one stage to the other. Whenever you do that, you are supposed to take action.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Because my nephew asked, we were not able to answer. So I said, well, we were taught like that. We
Yeah,
escaped that
yes,
time, but the point is the
yes,
logic was missing. It was not
yes, exactly.
completely satisfied
Yeah,
myself, actually.
yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Whenever we disturb ourselves, that's why basically what happens is in our all the spiritual procedures, the more and more motionless you become, the more and more closer you will become towards the spiritual oneness. Anytime you disturb yourself, you have to actually start all over again. Since we cannot start all over again, we will do nature. So that the Vishnu and all those 24 forms comes and just hammers out the differences and pushes you through the door. That's right. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, one question. You were doing the Achamaniam and you showed the mudra that like the Achamaniam that you took, but I just want to, can you just show it one more time to make sure how you hold your hand?
Okay, good. The hand, you are going to make a leak type cup. For that, the tip of the thumb should be placed at the bottom of your ring finger. That is on the mount of sun, Surya Sthanam. On the Surya Sthanam, you will place. Then after that, you will fold your forefinger on your thumb. So when you do this, you are going to form a recess here, it forms a cup, which won't leak water very easily. And this mudra is also called Gokaranam. Gokaranam means cow's ear. Anything that emanates from that is equivalent to Ganga. Okay? See, when Jagna Mahamuni, when Bhagirath brings water, asks with just a penance for Shiva, and then gets Ganga from him, because he wants to have his ancestors' souls redeemed of their sins and get heavenly abodes. Because they are burned to ashes by Kapila Mahamuni. And those islands are what they are supposed to be, the ash islands near California, or in California. So Bhagirath came all the way from Himalaya until California. The guy did some foreign trips right at that time itself. So he came, but probably he did not need visa at that time. So he came all the way there. So he came all the way there. So he brings Ganga from Shiva. And Ganga, as it flows, she is flowing in all the glory and furor. And then she inundates the ashram of Kapila Mahamuni. Not Kapila Mahamuni, Janhu Mahamuni. So on the way, Janhu will be doing penance. She inundates this one, and then Janhu becomes extremely angry. He just drinks up the entire Ganges. He just consumes Ganges. And then this one comes back and says, hey guys, you can't do this by taking the Ganges for some purpose. Please forgive us. Release Ganga. Then he releases Ganga from this. Since Ganga comes out of Jagna Mahamuni, she came to be known as Janhavi. That's how the word Janhavi came into picture. That's why, suppose you don't have water, you have to do action. How do you do it? Mahadevi, cover your right ear with your palm. Mahadevyश्च विद्महे सप्तप्रकाशमन्यश्च धीमहि तन्नो गंगा प्रचोदयात् केशवाय स्वाहा नारायणाय स्वाहा माधवाय स्वाहा गोविंदाय नमः. So the mudra, those are the mudra is place the tip of your thumb, and the rest of the thumb should be resting into the palm, not lifting vertically. It should rest into the palm, and then fold your forefinger on the thumb so that you will make a cup. This cup you are going to use for your achana. Then after that, Keshavaya Swaha, Narayana Swaha, Madhavaya Swaha, Govindaya Namaha. Then the 24 names. Vishnave Namaha, Mansudhanaya Namaha, Trivikramaaya Namaha, Vamanaya Namaha, Sridharaya Namaha, Rishikeshaya Namaha, Padmanabhaya Namaha, Damodaraya Namaha, Sankarshanaya Namaha, Vasudevaya Namaha, Pradyumnaya Namaha, Aniruddhaya Namaha, Purushottamaya Namaha, Adhokshajaya Namaha, Narasimhaya Namaha, Achyutaya Namaha, Janardhanaya Namaha, Upendraya Namaha, Hare Namaha, Shri Krishnaya Namaha. Okay?
Yeah, thank you. Also, the Purna Gayatri mantra, the one that you do with the mudras, can we have a separate recording of that alone, just with the chanting and the
Purna Gayatri Mantra. I'll
yeah.
chant it now itself.
Okay.
Om Bhu, Om Bhuvaha, Om Suvaha, Om Maha, Om Janaha, Om Tapaha, Om Satyam, Om Tat Savitrvarenyam, Bhagyo Devasya Dhimam, Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Parodise Savadom. Parodise Savadom is added only if you are initiated into Sri Vidya. Otherwise, you stop just short of that. Prachodaya, that you will stop. Parodise Savadom, when you add, that is called Turiya Gayatri, and whatever Purna Gayatri you are chanted, along with Turiya Gayatri, it becomes the so-called Brahma Vraja Gayatri, or it is also known as Avarna Gayatri, because it will have 9 Omkarams. Okay? Is that recorded clearly, Sama?
Yes, yeah, this is good. Yeah.
Okay.
And then the mudras that you usually do, the
Gayatri Mudras?
ah,
Yeah, I think it's already recorded now. Let me do it in a very, very slow fashion. Sumukham samputam chaiva vichatam vistrutam tatha trimukham trimukham chaiva chatushpanchamukham tatha shanmukho adhomukham chaiva vyapaka anjalikam tatha shakatam yamapashancha Rasitancha Unmukham Pralamba Mushtikam Chaiva Matsya Urma Varahakam Simhatrantam Mahatrantam Mudgaram Pallavam Tatha Ete Mudraschadurvinshah Gayatri Supratishthita Iti Mudra Janati Gayatri Nishphala Bhavet Yo Devas Savita Smakam Yo Dharma Vigocharaha Prerayet Taskayet Bhargah Tadvarenyam Pasmahe.
thank you. Thank you.
This is all. These mudras, they are, I think, in the latest version of Devi Padaka, I believe, they are all the 24 mudras are listed. And also we have got those big what is that? So it's slides of wall, this one. Mural, not murals. Banners, yeah. Our temple also has banners with all these mudras.
Okay.
Yeah. Anything
Say
else?
may I ask one more?
Please.
Probably it is a tradition to tradition. I agree. You initially mentioned that. In between, we don't need to do, I mean, Tarpanam, Devata Tarpanam, right? Some people do that. That's what we were taught.
Devata Tarpanam and all that forms a more extensive side of the Sandhyavandanam. It is the Devata Tarpanam, Rishi Tarpanam. In fact, if you go into real details of Sandhyavandanam, the traces of what we do in Sri Vidya Upasana, they are all of them, they already figured there. That's why what the tradition is, some, father gives Gayatri on his own to some. And son performs sadhana of Gayatri. Once that is completed, he comes and asks father for Sri Vidya. Then father is supposed to give him Sri. That's how the tradition happened. I mean, the Vedic tradition, that's how it used to be. But then the Sri Vidya itself is so extended and dragged upon, before the son gets ready for Sri Vidya, father will have to the bucket. And the Vidya is lost. That's the problem.
Understood.
But
Thank you.
otherwise, yes, if you want to do the Rishitarpanam and all that, you are most welcome to do something. But what happens is, in our today's day-to-day hectic way of life,
Correct.
the more wrappers you include, the more reasons you have to excuse yourself or to escape. Right? So that's why
Understood.
we have simplified it to that least, but the way it was taught to me, it was simplified, straightforward, just do it, focus on Gayatri, do it, and then move on.
That. Thank you.
Anything else?
Aya, there is one question posted in the chat.
Yeah.
Someone is asking, I come late from work, but I've started doing during the shower, but it's late around 8:30 p.m. Is that okay?
It is not okay, but okay. In the sense, it is better than not doing. Do it. Keep doing it. Mother will find a way of adjusting things for you. Just keep doing it. But then again, if you have an opportunity to do it sooner, but you laze around and not doing it, that's not. That's all. If you have no choice, it's fine.
Okay, yeah, that is it. No more questions in the chat. Oh,
Okay.
posted. Okay. They just
Okay. So shall we call it a day? Okay then. So thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to pass on this whatever little I was passed on. Okay. May Mother Gayatri be with you. May Sri Vidya be with you. May the graces of our Guru be with you. Sri Guru Bhyo Namah, Sri Matre Namah. Prajnanam.
Thank you so much, Amma.
Vajayam Brahmasmyam Sashivassoham Manzasakafrem Asakshamalam Yumsam Sakshamalam Sahar Swarupayam Prahetave Sugrave Srimad-Jnanam Vigasameda Sri Chaitanya-Nandana Sri Guru Sri Padukam Puryam Tatpayam Namaha. And the temple as an institution is looking forward to performing more Upanayams going forward, so that more brahmacharis are initiated into the path of Gayatri. Because Gayatri forms a very strong foundation on which you can build Sri Vidya much more easily. So we are looking forward to doing something in that direction. Let us see what future holds for all of us. Okay.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.